Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Newsweek tells us Meghan has been accused of bigging herself up by using her royal title during a message for children and parents in a viral video. A TikTok post showed a clip of Meghan introducing herself using her royal title and compared it with how other royals have greeted the public. Meghan said, "I'm Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex," while the next king introduces himself with, "My name's William." His wife went with, "I'm Catherine and this is William next to me." Princess Beatrice said, "My name's Beatrice." The montage was posted by @LampShadeBond with the on-screen caption, "The egotistical one bigging herself up." In the full video, Meghan said, "Hi and welcome to Brightly Storytime. I am Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and today I'm going to read you my book called The Bench." Meghan appears in a new video in which she visits a home for military families, the Fisher Foundation. Meghan's voiceover says, "What does recovery mean to you?" For some, it means reclaiming their narrative, revolutionizing your mindset. It's a change that's not only physical, it's mental, emotional, social. The Invictus Games show that this growth is about more than what meets the eye. The spouse coordinating doctor visits, the children celebrating milestones, the mother, father, fellow veteran, the friend. The Foundation is a long-term supporter and premier partner of Prince Harry's Invictus Games. There is a community near and far, surrounding servicemen and women when they deploy and long after they come home. Healing does not happen alone. It takes a village and is for the village. One of the most essential parts of the process is having people surround you who understand. To grow as one unit, to achieve limitless potential. To remind us, above all else, in this international family, no one gets left behind because this is Invictus. We are Invictus together. A source told Us Weekly, Prince Harry and Meghan have been busy with Invictus Games recently, but Meghan is still planning her Hollywood reinvention. Meghan has a new team around her. They've been strategizing about what mediums will have the most impact. There isn't anything locked in yet, but the most promising thing for everyone seems to be Meghan and Harry highlighting important issues through docuseries and bringing attention and fundraising. Sarah Ferguson is said to be considering a job in order to help pay for the Royal Lodge. An insider says Sarah knows very well that she could have been the next Ellen. 20 years ago, Sarah filmed a pilot for a talk show, one that wound up going to Ellen. Sarah may be revisiting the idea. Royal expert Jenny Bond told OK Magazine, "I admire Fergie's eternal optimism. It seems to be rather like watching a game of snooker, and right now Andrew seems to be well and truly snookered. He can stay if he can afford it." Clearly, Royal Lodge needs a lot of work, and even just the upkeep is expensive. As far as we know, Andrew doesn't have a great deal of money, although quite what he has done with the proceeds from the sale of his house at Sunninghill, plus whatever profit there might be from the sale of the chalet in Verbier, is a mystery. Andrew is a very proud and stubborn man, and although it seems entirely logical that he should move to a smaller property, now that his daughters both have their own homes, and his ex-wife has bought a place in London, he seems determined to stay put. Now it seems he's been told by his big brother that he can stay, but he has to foot the bills. You really do have to admire Fergie for her eternal optimism and absolute loyalty. She is standing right by her man. Ex-man. They really do seem to be the best of friends and happiest divorced couple imaginable. So she's going to pull out all the stops to earn enough to pay for the upkeep of the house and keep her man in the style to which he has become so very accustomed. It would have been far more dignified if Andrew had simply said he understood the lodge might be needed for others. Perhaps he should have been reimbursed for some of the maintenance he has paid for, and he could have graciously moved to the newly refurbished and very lovely Frogmore cottage. But he is proud and stubborn, and it seems he has dug his heels in. Now we have to wait and see if he and Fergie can pay the bills. The Express reported Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are at risk of being turfed out of Frogmore Cottage. A source claims Andrew has been told that if he or his daughters fail to take up full-time residency at Frogmore, the home will be at risk of going on the rental market. The source told OK, the estate doesn't want to leave the property vacant and are keen to find a tenant. Royal residences with a security cordon have been leased to people outside of the family before. Close family friends will be given the option to lease the property if a full-time tenant can't be found. The Frogmore keys were handed to Andrew earlier this year so that he could move out of Royal Lodge. He hasn't moved in, and he won't. However, he's allowed his daughters to make use of the property when they visit the Windsor estate. The source added, Eugenie uses the cottage the most when she visits the UK from her home in Portugal. Beatrice also uses Frogmore when she visits her parents or undertakes royal duties, but neither of them has considered an expensive lease or other expenses that come with it. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Charles is said to be very jealous of the seemingly more popular William and Kate. Author Clive Irving said, "There's a great deal of feeling that William understands the mood and the reality on the grounds far more than Charles ever will. They worked out a kind of accommodation of how much limelight each is going to be allowed because Charles is always very jealous of other people stealing his limelight. He's worked out a deal now whereby William and Kate can have an allotted percentage of the limelight. It's unclear the exact percentage, but maybe 40% for the Waleses and he keeps 60%. That seems to be the working arrangement." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google, YouTube, or your app of choice. And hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It really helps us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.